Wake up, Rocky Run! Today is June 4th, 1942, and we're standing by for some breaking news in the Pacific Theater.
Wait, is there a new movie out? I hope it's a musical.
No, the Pacific Theater is the part of World War II where the United States is fighting Japan, on the islands all over the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, right, I knew that.
Sure you did. We hear that a crucial naval battle, perhaps one of the most important of all time, is about to take place near Midway, a little island in the Central Pacific that has a U.S. landing field and is a crucial refueling base for U.S. submarines.
And how do we know that? Well, U.S. code breakers have broken the Japanese Navy main code. They know most of Japan's planes and how Japan is going to separate its aircraft carriers from most of its other big ships to attack Midway and try to sink two of the remaining U.S. aircraft carriers that survived Pearl Harbor.
We go now to our reporter on Midway. Angela, what are you seeing?
It's very exciting here, Madeline. The U.S. has just launched aircraft from Midway airstrip that are going to attack the Japanese aircraft carriers that already have sent planes to bomb Midway. Although these U.S. aircrafts are older models and the torpedoes don't seem to be working well, the brave pilots are ready to risk their lives to begin an attack on what we hear may be 4 Japanese aircraft carriers.
Thanks, Angela. Now we take you to our reporter with the U.S. fleet live from Rear Admiral Sprince's flagship.
In a daring move, Admiral Sprince, who's commanding 2 aircraft carriers, the Hornet and the Enterprise, due to the sickness of Admiral Halsey, has decided to send his bombers to attack the Japanese carriers at the very edge of their range. Some planes are likely to have ditch. Some planes cannot even find their targets. But Sprince thinks it's better to give off the Japanese no chance to clear their decks or refuel the planes after they had to fight off the attacks from our land-based planes on Midway.
Thanks, Meghana. And what the Japanese don't know is that we have more than 2 aircraft carriers. In addition to the Hornet and the Enterprise, Admiral Fletcher is commanding the USS Yorktown, which was repaired after the Battle of the Coral Sea and sent back in record time to be a hand on for this battle.
Yes, Madeline. For the first time in the Pacific, the U.S. with 3 carriers and the land-based planes from Midway may have more planes available than the Japanese. Now let's go to our submarine correspondent and see if the U.S. strategy worked.
The Japanese carriers have been under a nearly constant attack all morning. The first U.S. torpedo bombers did not do well, due to some apparent torpedo issues, but they and the second attack made sure the Japanese fighter planes had to refuel. So the decks of the Japanese carriers are covered with fuel lines, as well as bombs and torpedoes, as the Japanese commander, Admiral Nagumo, tries to decide whether to bomb Midway or go after the U.S. ships. And he may be too late. Look, here comes the additional U.S. bombers from the Enterprise and the Yorktown. And they have hit 3 Japanese carriers. 3 carriers are replaced. Only 1 remaining Japanese carrier appears to be able to launch a counterattack.
Woo! That is exciting news. Keep us posted, Emma. But we hear from overall commanders Admiral Nimitz, its communication team, that the USS Yorktown may be under attack.
Your news is unfortunately correct, Madeline. It looks like the USS Yorktown, which was repaired in record time, may not survive. It was partly repaired after the first Japanese attack, but after the second attack has caused the ship to tilt to one side. Admiral Fletcher is moving from his flagship to a different vessel, along with most of the Yorktown's crew. But unlike the Revolution, I think we may be able to lose the Yorktown and still be able to win the war.
Let's hope so. And I understand that we have a report that now the 4th Japanese carrier has also been hit and is sinking. That's 4 carriers lost in one battle. Although the fighting may go on for a few more days, the key damage seems to have been done.
That's right, Madeline. It looks like the U.S. has lost 1 carrier, the Valiant Yorktown, and a destroyer, but the Japanese not only did not invade Midway, they also lost 2 battleships and other ships, as well as 4 carriers and all those carriers' planes. Without any surviving airplanes, the commanding Japanese Admiral Yamamoto, has to retreat before he even got 5 of his other battleships into the fight.
So it looks like Midway may be the start of a new day in the Pacific Theater.
You can say that again, Madeline. With U.S. naval strength increasing by the day and its ability to often control the air, the U.S. may be able to start island hopping its way back across the Pacific. We can make it back to the Philippines and cut off Japan's supply routes from Indonesia. It may run out of oil and other key supplies, and then you can say goodnight to Japan's imperial dream of a greater East Asia co-prosperity sphere.
Good night to the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere, and to all of you. But stay tuned. Up next is a word from our sponsor coming to a theater near you.
But not the Pacific Theater, right?
Here's some live footage.
June 3rd, 1942, 1800 hours, and the whole might of the Japanese combined fleet is rapidly closing on Midway Island. But the capture of the 2,000-acre patch of Pacific coral and sand is not their only mission. Perhaps even more important is their plan to lure out and annihilate the remnants of the severely weakened U.S. Pacific Fleet. In overall tactical command is Japan's most brilliant naval strategist, Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, with 11 of the mightiest battleships afloat. Spearheading the attack 300 miles closer to Midway is the carrier strike force, with its 4 battle-seasoned fleet carriers. In command aboard flagship Akagi is Vice Admiral Chuichi Nagumo. Latest intelligence from Tokyo assures him that there is still no evidence of an enemy task force anywhere in the vicinity. Secure in that belief, he will launch his attack as dawn breaks on the morning of the 4th. And so, heavily outnumbered, 28 United States warships to the Japanese 88. With their only chance of victory, total surprise, the United States fleet lies in ambush some 325 miles northeast of Midway, awaiting